So, I don't know who needs to hear this, but in order to move on with your life in a peaceful manner, you have to forgive those who wronged you. And I know this is very cliche, but you literally have to forgive them. I'm not saying that you have to let these people back or this person, whoever, back into your life. You have to make peace on what was done and move forward with your life because what's going to happen is when you keep focusing on the past, you're not going to progress the way that you want to. Your life isn't going to your life isn't going to change the way you want to change. Your life isn't going to change the way you want it to change because you're too busy focused on the past. You're too busy focused on what happened, what could have happened, what should have happened. No, you have to make peace with everything in life in order to move forward. And I know that's easier said than done, but how I look at it is like this. Before we had social media, if you know me, you know I'm not really a big fan of social media. If you know, you know. But before we had social media, it was a time where if a person was done dealing with you, that was it. They just didn't call you anymore. They didn't call your house phone anymore. They seen you in person, it was it. Zada, nothing. Like they didn't say anything to you. Nowadays, I get it. We have more temptations coming forward where it's like you could cut someone off and then here they go still texting your phone. Here they still go calling you. Here they go sending you a friend request. In order to move on with your life, you have to let bygones be bygones and you have to leave people in the past, forgive them, and just move forward. Again, this is another reason why personally I'm not a big fan of social media because I feel like social media, if you do not have boundaries, social media can be bad because it's like you're allowing that negative person or people or whoever back into your space and you don't have to. You don't have to, but you have to be very strong with setting a boundary, such as not viewing their page, such as not accepting their friend requests, such as ignoring their messages, such as blocking them. Like, it's okay. Like, I don't get why we live in a world where people say, oh, it's bad to ghost someone. No, the hell is not. Because it's like, if you don't want to speak to anyone anymore, that's not your job to baby their feelings. It is what it is. Now, do I think you should be mature in some situations and tell that person, yes, but at the end of the day, you don't really owe anyone an explanation on why you want to move forward with your life. This is your life. But yeah, if you want to make peace with yourself, with the past, you have to forgive those who wronged you. And I'm purposely like I'm not even trying to really like state the Bible, but this is facts. You have to do that. Because if you don't, like I said, you're going to end up carrying a lot of hate, a lot of envy. Your mind is going to still be checking for that person. It takes more energy to dislike someone compared to having energy to just forgive someone. Because you know what happens when you forgive someone? When you forgive someone, you make peace with the thought and you move on. That person no longer circles your orbit. That person is no longer taking space in your mind. But when you sit there and tell yourself, "Oh, I'm mad. I don't forgive them. I hate this person," and when you do all of that, you're giving energy towards a person that does not deserve it. So again, it's easier said than done, but it's way more easier to just forgive someone and move on with your life than to stay wrapped up in what happened in the past. Because again, when you stay wrapped up in what happened in the past, you're not going to be able to move on with your life. And if you do move on with your life isn't going to be as great compared to if you just would have just forgave that person and pushed them to the side. And like I said, if that person comes around trying to add you back on social media, trying to text you, trying to call you, FaceTime you, just ignore them. We're at our grown age, I promise you, people know exactly what they're doing. Just ignore them. They'll be okay. They'll be all right. I promise. And this is something I had to learn on my own because, baby, I'm a Taurus. Okay, I could hold a grudge. I'm not gonna hold you. I could hold a grudge, but the thing is, I learned that it's okay to forgive some people and just never speak to them again. It's way more easier that way. Where it's like, cool, I forgive you, but I'll never let you back in my life. Oh, no, 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 no. And I want everyone to view it that way. So, yeah.